Hey, what is up, everybody? Happy Tuesday here. Got a 6-game NBA slate. Not to bury the lead that the NFL is just going absolutely nuts today. Russell Wilson just traded to the Denver Broncos, but you're not here for that. You'll get plenty of that over at ETR.com. We'll be breaking all that down over the next coming weeks and months as the offseason continues. But we got NBA today, folks, and we got a fun 6-game slate ahead of tomorrow, what I think is like a 12-gamer. So buckle in today for what should be something a little bit more tame before the bonanza tomorrow. How you doing, Mike? Have you started on matchups for tomorrow yet?
Yeah, going through. I got half my quotes done. It's gonna take me forever, but yeah, crazy trade, man.
Yeah.
Definitely wish I had me some Jerry Judy dynasty shares, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good point. That's a good
yeah. It's
point.
I actually was trying to trade from him because you heard about this trade. I was like, I want to get from, but I have such I wanted like a 6 receiver. I have like the nastiest 5-man dynasty receivers. I have C.D. Lamb, A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Waddle.
Oh,
Like
yeah, my God.
nuts.
My
But
God.
so I was trying to get one more, and I was like trying to get Judy. Like, nope. But yeah, it's crazy trade, man. I'm pumped for the guys to get
Crazy.
some good content out there over the off season.
Yeah,
Love a good content producing news bit.
it's fun. I'm enjoying the start of this NFL offseason. I feel like it's a more normal schedule this year with the combine being in person and everything, and it feels like we're finally back to normal a little bit with with that kind of stuff. So let's dive into NBA though. We'll start at the top here. We just got a pretty interesting questionable tag, and that's Brandon Ingram
Hmm.
on the report with a hamstring injury, popped up I think around the 130. So I mean, you have any info here? Should we expect Ingram to go? And obviously if he doesn't, it should mean a lot of CJ. But what else there?
Highly doubtful.
Yeah.
Midday hamstring tag.
Yeah, it's never good.
Yeah, in a back to back. It's a pretty easy, predictable spot to sit him here. The easy part of this is like CJ McCollum's mooning. I don't know what his price is, but I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
he's like a lock. After that, probably maybe see more Devontae Graham. I think they're gonna have to kind of lean into offense in this matchup because they don't have really anyone that they really need to worry about. You've got Herb to put on uh, John Morant, but then you don't really need the help defense quite as much. So you got enough size. Jackson Hayes will get more usage. There's a lot of other like slight bumps happening here. I think we'll see more Najee Marshall. Najee Marshall is pretty sneaky as like a secondary ball handler. He's got a little bit of dribble game. Expect him to benefit. They still don't have Trey Murphy down in the G League yet. They might call him up. I don't know where the Birmingham team is right now, but that's something to keep in mind. Tony Snell, who cares? But yeah, the headline's definitely, and Valanciunas as well. Not a great matchup though against Steve Adams.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, there's potentially a lot of value with if Ingram can't go.
Yeah, the Najee one's interesting. I didn't really realize that he'd been in the rotation a little bit again here. So, we've seen him when he's had expanded roles in the past really be interesting for DFS. So I keep an eye there, but I think, yeah, CJ would probably be good chalk would be my guess later.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I love the
we'll
matchup, man.
look there.
Memphis's defense
Yeah.
has been really vulnerable. They really like attacking guards beat them lately.
Yep.
Obviously, they play really fast. So they're going to probably throw a lot of Desmond Bain, a little bit of D'Anthony Melton staggered in there. But I think CJ's like we're doing the DFS show. He's for sure on my short list of flag plans.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what his price is.
Yeah, I was hoping Ingram would play just because I'm loving the way both these teams look right now, and it would have been.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to watching this one. Either way, I still am. But Ingram playing with the full Josh show on the other side would have been fun.
Yeah,
all right,
just quick side note too, man. They kind of burned him. They were playing huge minutes lately. The 40-minute overtime, big usage, and hate to see an injury-prone guy go down. But
no, for sure. I'm hoping he gets back healthy and is all right because I think this team can make some noise in that play-in for sure. So they're
legit, man.
Yeah,
actually,
they're good.
You might be surprised to know. Since the break, they're I think like top defense.
Really? Wow.
Shout out to Herb Jones.
Honestly, well, yeah, he's the best. Honestly, if they get Zion back at all, and he's like, even if he's 50% of last year, yeah, you don't think so? Yeah. I mean, no. I don't know. The story from last week of him, or whatever, a couple days ago of him returning to New Orleans just felt like media fodder to me. But I don't know. All right, let's keep going here. Other big implication new out is Jared Allen missing this one for Cleveland. They're going into Indiana for a matchup with the Pacers here. So obviously on the surface, you think, okay, this benefits, Evan Mobley and Kevin Love, but what's going on with Allen and how do you see this shaking out for Cleveland?
Yeah. So the first question is who starts, right? We saw Jetty Osman start the second half. In previous instances, we saw Ed Davis really fill in. Right. We saw when Jared Allen checked out in this game where he got hurt, it was because of a thigh thing at first before they found out about the hand. JB Bickerstaff went straight to Ed Davis. So we know he likes to go to Davis to fill Allen's minutes. That said, probably a long-term injury. Do you really want to make your rotation staple Ed Davis when you've got enough size? I think the answer is no. Yep. So I think the candidates come down to Dwayne Wade, who we've seen be the Lauri Markkanen fill-in quite frequently. So I'm not quite as confident that he starts. I think it's Jetty, or I don't feel great about it, but I think Jetty's minutes can be safe regardless. Certainly a higher ceiling on Kevin Love. They run some pick and pop stuff with him and Garland, and obviously the Mobley stuff. I mean, his per minute ceiling comes way, 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 way up in a really, really good matchup. So curious to see what his price looks like, but Mobley definitely benefits, even though the minutes may not get boosted too much. His role just gets so much better.
Yeah, Mobley's price is up on DraftKings after, I think on both sides, actually. He's 8,100 on FanDuel. He's $7K on DraftKings after, a pretty monstrous 20-17 against Toronto on, what was that, Sunday? So, great to see him kind of coming off a huge performance in a position where, he should have all the opportunity in the world. Looks like Kevin Love will garner plenty of attention. We'll talk all about that later. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup to attack. I think, I think it'll go a little bit under the radar with some of these other higher over unders here. So, just taking Allen out of the mix does open up some of the value there. All right, so let's keep going. Let's just touch on a couple new outs quickly. LaMarcus Aldridge going to be out here for Brooklyn. I think he's out at least 2 games. Did I read?
Yep, hip impingement, not good for a guy who has a lot of hip issues in his career.
No, definitely not good. So obviously, Durant's back. He looked great. So, it's not like those fringe Nets guys are as attractive as they were when Durant was out. But who do you expect to start at center? I'm guessing it's Drummond. But I guess how do you expect that front court rotation to shake out for Brooklyn now?
Yeah, you certainly get a higher minute ceiling out of Andre Drummond. We've seen Aldridge kind of close more often, given the way that they're just trailing all the time. This defense is so bad. They're number 30th in like so many. They're I think they passed them in the Rockets in half court defense since February 1st. They're getting wrecked. But I expect Nick Claxton to be the guy. They're for the next couple of games. I think they really need his size there. I don't think they're going to want to put James Johnson at the 5. They might in the spot, but you got Montrezl Harrell, a guy I think that matching his minutes with Claxton makes a lot of sense. When you're going to see a lot of PJ Washington, a lot of Mason Plumlee, you definitely need the size. So I think Claxton, who's been hurt, he won't play crazy minutes. He'll probably play, I don't know what we did. I didn't look at the minutes that we did yet, but I'd probably say it was like 21, 22.
Yeah, we have him at 19 right now.
Okay, yeah, I'm probably more bullish. I feel really good about his opportunity in the spot. And again, Drummond too, which is a little troublesome because I mean the Hornets play so freaking fast. Do you want Drummond out there kind of lagging your offense behind, I should say? So I think it's definitely more of a Claxton spot. I wouldn't be surprised if he closes over Drummond. So definitely going to be into Claxton.
I agree with you there for sure. I mean, you just think about a matchup with the Hornets, and Claxton kind of fits right into the pace of how this matchup might play. He's going to be really interesting tonight. We'll talk about it on the DFS show, but he's really cheap, and I think he's for tournaments a really interesting piece. So yeah, I mean that's mostly it for the Nets.
Just Cam Thomas is questionable.
Cam Thomas. Really right.
Yeah, we saw him get cut down. He actually was the last sub in. You see the 4 minutes here on the screen. He wasn't subbed in. All these other guys subbed in before him. So he was just like, I think just filling minutes to kind of keep Seth Curry down was my guess, because like he was improbable. We saw Seth Curry's minutes get capped a little bit. But yeah, we know this rotation's, you're pretty much kaput besides the starters on us, besides Claxton now and the starters. It's going to be real thin. Bruce Brown's minutes are still really, really good. He's their only point of attack defender today. So expect him to play quite a bit.
Yeah. That's a good point. So other new outs, Grayson Allen for Milwaukee. He popped up, I guess. I don't remember what injury. He's got a hip soreness, I guess. So I mean, obviously, not a huge, not huge ramifications usage wise, but he's been playing a lot of minutes. So I mean, how do you expect that to shake out? Who do you think starts for Milwaukee?
Well, who I want to start may not be the same answer as who I think starts, but I want Jordan Noir to start. We saw Noir play great down the stretch against the Suns. I think he played the whole fourth. So, man, he could be real sneaky here, especially if he doesn't start. I think Noir is going to be the guy to get, and against OKC, you want spacing out there. They pack the paint. So that could be a point Wes Matthews. I think Wes Matthews is probably the favorite to start, but Noir is really, really interesting to me, just because they're so thin. They're okay playing Middleton as more of a 3 or a 2 either way to fit Noir in there. So definitely in on him, as we'll see. Maybe a little bit more Javon Carter. You're not going there, but The Warriors upside, and with possible garbage time coming his way,
that's what's interesting for me. I mean, this game is it's a 13.5 point spread, but it's got a 231 over under. I mean, there's it's certainly one to attack, and if we can find someone that might get a little boost because Allen's out and he'd play the garbage time, I'm with you. But yeah, for what it's worth, we are projecting Wes Matthews to start right now. We got him at 28 minutes. We'll adjust obviously on any news there. All right. One more new out, Robert Covington for the Clips. I think it's just personal reasons, but he's out there. I'm not thinking too much ramifications from this one. But obviously could see more of everyone. We could see more Amir Coffey because of it, a little bit more Hartenstein, maybe more Brandon Boston getting in the mix. And then obviously I think the minutes floors on the Kennard, Batum, Mans go up a little bit here. Anything to add with them?
Yeah, you nailed it. It's interesting to note that Zubac's minutes in the Warriors matchups have been down. I think it's 17, 21, and 23 in 3 games against the Warriors. It's all under 24, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, matchup, we don't really see a lot of Zoo. So, does this mean more Batum? I think Batum's interesting. Don't know what his price. I haven't looked at any prices yet. You mentioned Marcus Morris Marcus Morris having a much higher minute ceiling. I think is really big time. We'll definitely break that down. It's not like a clear winner like some of these other things we were saying, but definitely a spot to attack against a Warriors defense. It's getting wrecked, man. Night in, night out, they're getting killed in the paint. And we'll see what's up with some other injury report stuff as well.
Yeah,
Jordan Poole's probably the only guy we're kind of unsure on. We're obviously Clay and Steph and those guys are going to return.
Yeah. I guess we'll touch on it as Golden State has not reported yet. Last night they went basically with no one other than Jordan Poole and some fringe pieces there. We did see Poole get there last night. I think they should be pretty much a full go tonight, right? So we'll
Otto's maybe questionable because he had the illness. Maybe it's a 2-day thing. We'll see.
Otto was questionable yesterday. JTA was questionable yesterday. JTA played. Otto did not.
Yeah.
We'll see if Otto's on the injury report again. But we should get that injury report around 4:30 latest, I would think.
A couple hours now. Yeah, should be pretty soon.
All right. So, and then last just spot to touch on quickly, the Suns still no Cam Johnson, still no Devin Booker. They have a matchup with Orlando tonight. So not necessarily the one we would think automatically to attack, but I think the way Cam Johnson had been playing, it does open up a decent amount of shot opportunity and minutes as well. We have Mikal Bridges at 39 minutes right now.
Yeah, Jay Crowder, we saw his assist really spike. That was part of the game plan, according to. We
took the assist prop the game before, and then he had like 4 in the first 5 minutes in the next game.
What a disaster! But you could see here in this Milwaukee game. I mean, they played real tight in the first unit.
Yeah.
So definitely some value. We know we attack Orlando guards. So Campaign, we took a prop on him. I feel really good about it. And Campaign stuff. I don't know what his price is yet, but I gotta stop saying that.
He's just way too cheap on DraftKings, so we'll talk about it later. But on FanDuel, he's more appropriately priced.
You want Suns in your lineup, especially on the other side, which we'll talk about. Suggs being questionable. There's some really nice value that could pop up.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's dive into question marks. Then we already talked about Ingram. Let's go right into Suggs there. So Jalen Suggs questionable. He missed the last game, right? With this ankle.
Yep.
So obviously, and Fultz, I think, is expected to come back tonight. I'm assuming he still has, his limit around 15, 20 minutes. First thought is lots of Cole Anthony. And obviously, I'm guessing he'll get Mikal. But I guess how do you see this shaking out for the rest of Orlando in an interesting spot if Suggs does miss again? Yeah,
Cole's for sure getting Mikal, in my opinion. So that would make Franz Wagner like sneaky if you want to go path of least resistance mode.
I think that's interesting.
But RJ Hampton too should play pretty good minutes. I don't have a number on Fultz, but like you said, it was 15 to 20 before. We saw him go like on the front end of the 15 to 20 and then on the back end of it. So I think it would probably be like maybe 18 to 24 here, which if he's like that's doable. Against some maybe mediocre-ish subpar defenders in the second unit. With Aaron Holiday, I think Aaron Holiday is a little overrated as a defender. So, Fultz could be interesting if he's super, super cheap here, if Suggs can't go. But a lot of RJ Hampton, if he's probably not going there. Definitely, I would rather just lean into Wagner if you're going to kind of, lean out of the Cole Anthony and Mikal spot.
Yep. Agreed there. Let's keep going on here. The Pacers seems like these 3 guys have been questionable every game over the last week, but Duarte, Lance Stevenson, Goga Bitadze, all questionable once again here. I'll let you just take it from here. Anything to expect from Indiana in that matchup against Cleveland?
Yeah, I mean, this is just what they're doing. Duarte's injury is legit, though. We've seen him have this toe thing for pretty much most of the last second half starting. So yeah, we'll see. Probably be game time for most of them. Obviously, if Lance Stevenson doesn't go, you'll see a little bit more elevated minutes for Dwayne Washington. But yeah, I mean, Buddy Hield and Tyrese Halliburton and Brogdon, if all those guys are out, their minutes could be really, really up there.
Yeah.
In a matchup that's not great, but I think they could still kind of get it going.
Yeah. Obviously we're projecting these guys in for now, but we'll adjust as we go here. Interesting spot though. I mean, I think things open up a little bit even for the front court without Allen, and it's not like Jalen Smith and Isaiah Jackson are too expensive. So there's just some space to get a little bit different in tournaments in this game tonight, I think. And all right, I hear Roby for the Thunder. You think maybe this wouldn't be a huge one, but they're still so depleted right now with no Giddey, no Dort, all those guys that are still out. I think SGA is going tonight, right? He might not go tomorrow. Yep. Is that right? So
that's what it looks like.
Yeah. So, no Roby. I mean, I don't even know where they go from there. I mean, we see a ton of Poku playing a little bit small, probably. What do you think?
Yeah, they would need it, man. I mean, the matchup against the Bucks, they need as much size as they can get. They ran Bazley at the 5 spot. It was like Poku, listed as starter, but functionally he was used kind of as a center. Bazley was.
Yeah.
So against the Bucks, that just sounds like a disaster. So we'll see what happens. It was a late scratch thing, which is usually a bad sign, right? So I think he might sit. That would probably pull Wiggins back out after he was supposed to come off the bench in the last game, but they put him in the starting lineup since Roby was late scratched. And then, you just lose a bunch of minutes because Poku will lose the minute stealing, but then, he would still play quite a bit. So it would take a lot of these like wingy guys out. Olivier Sarr, who would play garbage time. So like maybe, if you're playing heavy garbage time, I think Olivier Sarr could actually do some damage. Like we saw him produce in the last game. Like assuming he's like stoned in. If you're leaning into garbage time heavy, like running in with Noir, doesn't sound like an insane idea if Roby's out.
I actually, I think he might just be needed from, if Roby's out, as you said. I mean, they have no Muscala, no Favors, no JRE. They have no bigs, and I think Sarr would be an interesting value play as the state of the NBA world that we're in.
Yeah, just a lot. I mean, listen to these names: Dort, Favors, Giddey, Jerome, Mike Muscala, JRE, like Kenrich Williams. It's just running out of bodies right there.
Exactly. So, obviously keep an eye there, but it's weirdly important. Isaiah Roby tonight. All right, back to that Charlotte game quickly. Jalen McDaniels questionable there. This is a smaller one, but we've seen JT Thor kind of be in the rotation a little bit. Any takeaway from that one?
No, I'll just add that they like going big now. That's been really their big rotation crutch is staying with that size. They play Boston tomorrow. I'm curious to see how that shakes out. But I think that they'll keep that rotation going. I don't think McDaniels will really affect anyone, like you said, other than Thor. So
yeah, right. I agree. And I think they'd want to go big tonight once again. Obviously with Durant back and then Drummond probably starting and a lot of Claxton. It's like I don't think the matchup would necessarily want them to go small either way. And then Rajon Rondo is questionable here. Not as important, obviously, with Garland back and cooking, but we still have him right now is kind of eating on most of those backup point guard minutes at 18 minutes. I think if he were to miss, it would open up a little more stuff for like Chetty, possibly. I don't know. Any thoughts there?
Yeah, the headline just Jetty would be used differently, right? We've seen him even play point guard. They kind of use him as they were filling in basically the 4 minutes when Jared Allen went out. So we kind of stretch him 2 different ways or pigeonhole him into one of a more front court guy if Rondo can't go. And it would take away some second unit ball handling stuff when Garland's out too. So it would affect, Osman just a little bit.
Yeah, right. That would be my thought as well. So, I mean, any other spots in your mind that could pop up tonight or that we got to keep our eye on? Obviously, we mentioned Golden State. We're waiting on them to report. But, it's kind of the calm before the storm today where not every team's on a back-to-back, but there's a bunch that are playing tomorrow as well. So I'm curious of how teams might manage that.
Yeah, this is out there, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks pop up with somebody. Budenholzer talked about making sure Drew and Middleton were healthy. We saw pretty tightly contested high-minute, high-usage games from those guys. They get Atlanta tomorrow in a pretty big game at home against OKC today. I wouldn't be surprised if we get one of those pop-up tags on the Bucks. So that's something just to be aware of. Which again, pointing to if you guys haven't gotten any hints yet, we like Jordan Noir today. But so that's kind of one. The Clippers always right. But, they're on a back-to-back as well, so that's always on red alert. national TV game today, but you always got to be aware of late game Clippers in a back-to-back.
Yeah, I would imagine the Clippers, if they were to go for any rest spots, would be tomorrow at home against Washington, then tonight against Golden State, who's presumably playing their guys. But definitely, obviously, the clips will clip whenever they want.
Yes,
so, you never know there. Nothing. I'm with you. Nothing else is I'm just taking a quick look at the slate here. Nothing's like really popping out at me that we should hopefully, knock on wood, not get too many surprises here. But yeah, no, I guess we're kind of wrapped up early. We have anything to add? Any weird starter jersey stuff? Any new?
No weird starter. We need Discord back though. That's killing us.
I know. We're sorry about Discord, everyone. Obviously out of our control, but hopefully we'll have it back soon.
Yeah, I don't know how we could do an alternate on that, but just hopefully to get it fixed. We want to fire away here. We've been Fuego 25-9 since Thursday, man. We are just killing the prop game.
Truly unbelievable. Cool. Well, then on that note, please do subscribe, smash like buttons, hit like buttons, do whatever you got to do. Definitely show us the love for the free content here. If you are a subscriber for our NBA DFS product, please join Mike and myself at 5:00 as Drew is out in. Yeah, well, that's okay. As Drew is out in Nashville with some of the other ETR folks. So, you see a lot of my face this week. Hopefully you won't get tired of it. Didn't do a great job last night. I think I have a lot out for redemption here tonight. But looking forward to it. It's a fun little slate. And
slate.
We will, it is fun. We will see you at 5:00 Eastern for the DFS show. Take care, everybody.